You've heard the media hype. It's not just hype, it's really happening. The largest moon that is going into eclipse until the year 2033, the mega moon, the supermoon, the blood moon, even NASA is calling it that, and the harvest moon, all combined into one package that's falling into Earth's shadow.
But lunar eclipses only ever occur during a full moon. That's because the Earth has to be between the Sun and the Moon so that it can cast its shadow out into space and onto the Moon. Why is it then that we don't see a lunar eclipse every full moon? Well, the answer is that the Moon's orbit is tilted with respect to the plane of the orbit of the Earth around the Sun, and this means that at some full moons, the Moon can be sitting outside of the Earth's shadow. But that's not the case tonight. Tonight, the path of the Moon takes it into this long cone of darkness which is cast by the Earth out into space.
I'm out in my garden, would you believe? I've got my telescope behind me and I'm imaging the eclipse, and it's fantastic. I can see up there. In fact, the northwest limb is really dim. Just since I've been, talking to Trish, our producer, it's really started to dim.
For some reason in the astronomy world, we have all sorts of end of the world Armageddon type experiences almost every year. Some people think there's a hidden planet named Nibiru that's on a collision course and it's going to collide today during the eclipse. Others think it's later this year or next year, but you'll see a lot on the web about that. In truth, no, NASA and the world's astronomers are not hiding some cataclysm. I've been connected with astronomy all my life, and I can tell you that these are blabbermouths. Astronomers would never keep anything hidden. They couldn't.
We was talking about the end of the umbral phase, the sort of the moon's sort of starting to peak out, and I'm looking around, and there's almost kind of like like a sort of diamond ring effect, that the moon is so dark on that right hand side. As I look at it, the bit that is actually sticking out is really quite pronounced. So maybe, what was the name you gave it, Bob? The heme or something?
A hemogenesis, that's the start, the beginning, the birth of the red part. But now this is the end of it, so now we need another Latin phrase for we'll look for when the red part is over. In other words, when our eyes, when our cameras, when our CCDs, in trying to capture the moon correctly, when there's so much moon that has returned, all bathed in sunlight, that the cameras have to be stopped down, and we underexpose the red, and it becomes black again. And maybe the name for that would be the onset of darkness, rather than putting it in the negative at the end of the redness, maybe the beginning of darkness, although that does sound a little morbid, doesn't it? It's like
sounds like a film title, I think.
It's not faith in the biblical sense, but there is an underlying faith that an astrophysicist has, that the numbers, the symbols, the expressions that are being used actually work the way you think that they're working. And speaking precisely to what you talk about is that we have these realities that we give names to, such as water, but at the same time there's also that exploration of human reason and refinement of human reason that has contributed to that language and will change the language in the future, and will refine it even further and give us a better understanding of the natural world. And in that process, we'll also be able to get a better understanding of the divine and of God, in terms of, as we better know how the universe works and how the world works, it gives us a deeper sense of our understanding of the source of that universe and how that source relates with us.